Hi everyone, this is Nicholas D. Cameron, founder of BotBot. In this video, we're going to do a quick demo of our BotBrain system. We're using the BotBrain Pro for this demo, so some of the features may or not be available on BotBrain open source. So to get started, we're right now on our dashboard, and in our dashboard, we have basic information like our fleet size, the number of actions our fleet has taken. Now, an action is at any time the robot starts moving, starts a mission, receives a command. All this saved within the action system, how long we're a user, and a couple of other informations like waypoints, AI detection. So this is when the robot detects something that we asked them to look for, and so on. Here we can also see the activity of our fleet as a whole, as well as, within the robots, which one has been the most active over the past 30 days. And we're also able to quickly connect to a robot. Now, I'm currently in Lisbon, Portugal at our one of our other offices, but we're going to be using a robot that is in our Sao Paulo office, and we're able to see, this remote control system and remote communication system with the robots. So we're going to jump into our cockpit, and as the name says, cockpit is where we have all the critical information for controlling and managing your robot. So here on the left side, we have battery information and speed information. We have flows, which is our autonomous mission system, which we'll show a little bit later on in the video. We have our places and waypoint. Now, place is a way of you quickly sending the robot to a specific safe place within the map. And we have our chat system, which is a natural chat system in which we can use, Gemini Robotics, GPT, and Claude. We also have this text-to-speech button. When you click this on, anything you type will be said through the robot's through the BotBrain's built-in speaker. On the top left side, we have the front camera, and here we have the BotBrain back camera also. These are, again, both from the BotBrain system. On the bottom side, we have our 3D map and system. So here we can actually see, what is the current status of the robot. And for this demo, we're actually using a Unitree Go2 model, but we can see the map. And when he's moving, you're able to see, the current status of the robot in real time. On the right side, we have a top-down view map. Right now, this map is generated through our vision system, and we'll show a little bit forward in the video how these maps are created. On the right side, we have also, our robot commands. And here on the nav bar, we can turn on waypoints, augmented realities, which will show up in the video, the path that the robot is planning on taking when it's doing autonomous navigation. We can change, different overlays within the video. And here we can swap out if we were equipped with one of our payloads like Cam or Zoom. We're able to swap out. This robot for this demo is not. We're able to record everything that the cameras are seeing. Once we stop the recording, those are actually saved to our computer. And we can listen to the robot's microphones through this button, and we're able to push to talk or just speak through these buttons using the built-in BotBrain speakers. So to get started, we're just going to tell the robot, currently the robot is docked. We're going to tell him to undock. And this is a autonomous system that the robot executes automatically. So he stands up off his dock and then he moves back. Now, what we can do is we can come in here on the map, and we want to have a better look at our G1 there. We can come in here and we can drop a point, and then this final is where we want him to look to. And then if we press the green button, we can actually send him on that place to navigate autonomously to that position. And here you can see the green line is the path, and triangle is the waypoint that it's going to. Now we have a couple ways of, I just showed off the autonomous navigation, but we have different other ways of controlling the robot. So if we go into extras, we can turn on our joystick, and then we're able to move the robot around using our built-in joystick. And we're also able to use WASD commands when this is on. So if you're on a keyboard or if you're on a tablet, you're able to use these systems. I also have connected a PS5 controller, and I'm able to control using the PS5 controller, or really any gamepad works with our system. Now, we can tell the robot to go to a specific location. So we're going to tell him to go to our coffee area. And while he's doing that, and I'm going to show the 3D system. So here we can actually see in 3D what the robot is, the front camera is actually seeing. And we're able to pan around and move around. And this is, again, as we're using depth cameras, we're able to see this all in 3D as the robot moves around. So I'll wait for him to stop. And then, as you can see, we can pan around and we can have a look at exactly what the robot is seeing. We'll go back to the 2D view, the same thing here on the back. We're against the wall, so it's kind of flat. We're also, again, able to see, what the robot state is, and we're able to see the path that it's taken through our 3D visualizer. And we can clear the trails. We can swap, the color of the walls. we're able to do a couple of different things. So that is Cockpit. Now, the future of Cockpit is what we call MyUI. And MyUI permits you to really design your layout and your UI the best way you see fit. So we can come in here, we can add a new camera feed, and we can drop this here. We can add our 3D viz. You're basically able to add all the things you just saw in Cockpit within MyUI and set up any way you see fit. If you're connected to more than one robot, you're also able to swap between robots and have multiple visualizations from these robots. Right now, we only have one connected. And all your layouts, you can actually save your layouts, and or you can go into here, and then if you're in an organization, you can have what's called public layouts, and this will show, if you have any within your organization that are saved. Just a couple more extras that I forgot to show. So yeah, we have the joystick, we have, dark mode. We can also change the language of the interface, go into full screen, and we have notifications, which is, when a robot reaches a waypoint, when there's a failure. All these are saved within your notifications. Now, this map that you're seeing, this map is actually generated through our onboard SLAM vision system. And if we go into maps, we're actually able, to swap to different maps. And from here, we're also able to start a new map. And these maps are just, recorded as is. And this gives the robot a basic, understanding of the space it's in. If we go into memories, as the robot moves around, it's actually creating a constant memory bank of everything it saw that we can then use to query through our natural language and natural chat features. And we're able to see, all the information that it picked up about the different areas within the map that it walked around. These memories can be updated with time, so you always have, updated memories. Now, if you go into our waypoint system, this is where we can actually create, multiple waypoints and set our places. So here we can come in here and we can create, a new place. We'll put it a little bit over here and call it demo 1. So we're going to come here and also create a waypoint mission. So we can come in this add button. We'll name it waypoint demo, and then we'll create this one. Now we can come in here in the map, and then we are able, to say, let's say, have them come have a look at G1, and then kind of come back and look at this area, and then look at the flag right in front. So if we exit the editor and we go back to Cockpit, the first thing we can go is we can go to our new demo 1 place that we just said, which is right here in front. So if we click here demo 1, we'll see he'll navigate to that feature. Now, if we go back to our waypoint, we're actually able to call the waypoint demo. And then if we click start route, we're actually able to see here, the planned route. And you can change in the settings how long you want the robot to stay at each location. But right now he's going, to the first location, and we'll wait him to arrive there. He'll stay about a second at that location, and he'll move on to another location. There you go. Now he's going to turn around. And now he'll go to the waypoint 2. And again, here we can see him moving to that location. And all this is completely autonomous without any, interaction. If someone passed in front of the robot, he would stop. If for whatever reason the path was blocked, he would also try and repath and create a new path to that location. So he arrived at number 2, and now he's going to go on to waypoint location number 3. And we'll just wait him to go there. Now we're going to show our general BotBrain health and robot health page and settings. So it's called BotBrain Monitor. So we can see, just general info about the robot. If the robot is connected to, different Wi-Fi networks. Right now, this robot is not equipped with our 4G connection, so that's why there's the red. You can change the text-to-speech settings here also, so you can select different languages that you want to use and voices in the text-to-speech. We can see current, BotBrain stats like the CPU usage, GPU usage, memory usage, general temperature information, and power usage, fan usage, as well as the current state of all the different subsystems that we have running on the robot that permits us to do all these features, as well as any warnings or diagnostics issues. Again, these can be coming from the BotBrain system or from the robot itself. Now, in our AI page, we're actually able to set the robot to do a couple of different things. So we had actually set him, for any time he saw a person, we were able to tell, the robot to capture an image of that person. And here we can come in and we can see actually what the robot was seeing. The image is a little bit blurry, but we have that person information. And again, all this is based on YOLO. But if we go over to our AI section, we're actually able, to tell him to which systems we want him to save. Right now, again, we're using YOLO. You're able to swap to your own YOLO models, and if you have your own classifiers, you can actually select them here, which ones you would like. We're also able, to use Moondream, so we can have Moondream ask him, just caption what he's seeing. Again, all this is running on the robot. So you can see, large white door with a green and yellow Brazil flag, stands open. So this is him captioning. We're also able, to tell him to detect specific objects. For example, Brazilian flag. This is the World Cup, by the way. That's why there are so many flags all around. And there you can see he bound boxes what he just saw. Now, all these features that you saw, they actually tie into our Flow system. And Flow is super powerful as it permits you to create your own custom actions in Flow. So we can tell them, to start, and every flow starts with a start. In the case, if the robot was docked, we'd come in here, we'd tell him, to undock. And then we could tell him, to start a waypoint. And in this case, we can actually then select our waypoint demo. We can tell them then also to do different AI features. So for example, if you come here, we can ask them, a yes or no question. Is there a Brazil flag? And then depending on, if it's a yes or a no, we can have him, for example, take an image if yes. And all these systems, you can quickly, connect them up one to another. So that's one way of creating them. But we're also able, I'm going to clear this one. We can come in here and we can actually ask him to build a flow. So undock the robot and go to our coffee area, then take a picture and return to the dock. Now you can have much more sophisticated systems, but we can, ask him to build out this flow for us. This really depends on different systems and what you have set up. And now he's going to start building this flow. He might ask you a couple of questions while he's building the flow. This is normal. So if he has any sort of doubts and which one, well, we want our coffee area, and then we're able to have him build the flow out. So now he's just planning on how he's going to build that flow, and we can see he added the start node. And now we're going to see him add all the other nodes that we asked. So this makes it really easy, for you to build really complex and sophisticated flows, which are these autonomous missions, which then you can call and have them, build out. And as you can see, he's just building out this flow. You can also, speak to our flow builder and have him edit flows and create these multiple flow systems. Right now in this one, this is a single line flow, but so you can see he's actually added all the connectors already and he's completed the flow. But you're actually able to add, multiple start nodes. So you can actually have the flows doing different things at the same time. So that's kind of how flow works. And what's cool about flows is you can actually go into the history, and every time you've run, one of our missions and one of our systems, you're actually able to see a complete, update of how that mission was. So you're able to see critical information like how long the mission took, the battery amount that you used, the distance that it traveled, all the places it went. And you're actually able to see, everything also that it, executed. So the yes or no question, then that flow had, take a picture, and we're able, within this flow system to have all this. You can export also these flows. And in the future, you're able to use an API connection to start a flow and also to export all this data. You're also in our user settings. You're able to come in here. All the app is themable. If you upload an avatar, your avatar shows up here. And for all our users, we have different options of speed profiles. So you can be a beginner, normal, or insane mode, which is very quick. And so we don't recommend this if you're still a beginner. As well as we have a whole user management system. So right now we're a super admin, where you're able to have different profiles and different types of users. And